And to add to that also, I believe he also broke the cultural barrier when he had a conversation with the Samaritan woman. And I think I remember reading that part in your book, and it was really make a lot of sense, and it entered my mind. Yeah, it's culturally speaking, Jesus just broke that barrier, and it united those diversities. And speaking of diversity, you mentioned diversity a while ago. This is the next question, because in the latter part of your book, you discuss on social. In terms of diversity, you emphasize that Christianity is the most diverse movement in all of history. Interesting. But in another chapter, you mentioned that about one faith. For the sake of the listeners, how can there be diversity in Christianity and still have one faith? How can you reconcile contradictions? Is this a contradiction? So I want to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think one of the most important things for us to understand today is that this word diversity is it's a word that we use a lot, but we use it to refer to very different kinds of things. So for example, you and I'm female and you're male. So that's diversity, there's a difference there. We speak different languages as our mother tongue. We live in different places. We have different racial backgrounds. We probably cook different foods. There are all sorts of ways in which there is sort of diversity between the two of us. And there are ways in which different people can think differently as well. So we've had this confusion for a long time, which says, okay, religion is basically an expression of culture. And so if you come from a certain place, you believe a certain thing. And so, for example, to say to somebody who comes from India, vastly majority Hindu country, to say that somebody from India needs to start following Jesus is a violation of their culture, because to be Indian is to be Hindu. And some religions will kind of almost make that claim, and I think that's some folks in India would say that those two, you can't separate out being Hindu from being Indian. The thing with Christianity is that actually Jesus claims that he is the Lord of the entire world. Right? The Bible tells us there is one God who made the universe in the first place, made all humans, whether they are black or white, whether they are Asian or African, whether they are European, wherever they come from, right? Sort of racially, that all of these people have been made by God in his image and in his likeness, the book of Genesis tells us. And Jesus, at the same time as breaking through all these cultural barriers, he said that all authority in heaven and on earth had been given to him, and he told his disciples to go and make disciples of all nations. So Jesus's claim has, from the very first, been sort of offensively universal. There's no way, you can't look at Jesus and say, well, he's one God among many, or he's one good religious teacher, but we need to have him and all these other. Actually, you either have Jesus or you don't. He's either the universal resurrected king of the entire world, or he's a fraud. Those are the two options that we have. And if we think about it, if we say that, because somebody comes from India, or because somebody comes from a particular country, that they have a cultural background, if we say that they can't make up their own mind about what they believe, we're actually not being respectful to them. We're being disrespectful.
Yeah.
Because we're saying, you're not really a thinking person. You're just a product of your culture. Now, all of us are influenced by our culture, for sure. We're influenced by the family we come from, the place we grew up, the educational environments that we've lived in. But I think all of us would want to say, yeah, I actually choose what I most fundamentally believe. And I think, for example, a friend of mine, Praveen Sethupathi, whose parents immigrated from India, grew up in a Hindu family, became a Christian when he was an undergraduate, because a friend had challenged him, like, well, you say you're a Hindu, but what does that really mean? So he started reading the Hindu scriptures, and he became very interested in the Hindu scriptures. But then he thought, well, I need to look at the other religions that are making big claims as well, because just because I'm ethnically from India doesn't mean I should only believe this one thing. And when he looked at Christianity, he started reading the Gospels, he found this really weird thing. He found the hero of Christianity, instead of being this, great and powerful God going around defeating other people, was this seemingly pathetic man dying on a cross. And that completely astonished him, because the one, and was one of the strange things about Christianity, that the person who claims to be the king of the whole world died a shameful criminal's death. and looked like he'd lost. And that is sort of staked at the heart of Christianity, this cross where the most powerful man who ever lived died the most sort of despised death ever to have been died. And that's the kind of power inversion that we see in Christianity.
Friends, thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to our channel, The Fellowship League, and also please click the bell button to receive all of our valuable content in this channel in your notifications. Moreover, we have a Fellowship League page, Facebook page. Please do like and follow and share this page to your friends and families and loved ones who need the encouragement, the facts, the cross, and discourses, fun-filled, with comfort, with intellectual facts and factual discussions for you guys. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.